two programs or two tools. One of them is Microsoft Excel. Okay, I think you are more familiar with Excel, so usually we start with that. Okay, so you have an idea about what we are trying to do. Okay, so Excel is a spreadsheet program. Spreadsheet means a table. A spreadsheet simply means a table. So there are many softwares which work on a spreadsheet. Okay, Excel is one of them. I have another one of them which is called as Statistica. Okay, later on you will take a course of statistics. Okay, 273. It's not civil engineering. It's not CENG 273. It's STAT 273. It's in your curriculum. In that course, they will also tell you about more softwares for statistics, mean, standard deviation, and so on and so forth. In statistics, they also prefer spreadsheet programs. So when you open the software, what you see in front of you, the spreadsheet means what? I told you, right? Spreadsheet means what? Table. Spreadsheet means a table, rows and columns. Spreadsheet means what? Table, rows and columns. Okay. So Excel is a spreadsheet program, and there are other spreadsheet programs. When you go in the statistics course, you will see many of them. Okay. You have seen MATLAB as well, right? So when you open MATLAB, do you see a spreadsheet? No. Okay. So MATLAB is not a spreadsheet program. Okay. Excel is part of Microsoft package. Okay. All of you would know that. Okay. What other tools we are using from Microsoft? What other programs we use from Microsoft? PowerPoint, Word. Okay. What else? If you have to send me a message, you will use what? Teams. Okay. If you have to send me an email, Outlook. So all of them are part of Microsoft, and there are others as well which we don't use. Okay. So they are the tool for designing the websites, and the tool for data analysis, and so on and so forth. But anyways, we are focusing on Excel. Okay. So Excel is used for formatting, organizing, and performing the operations on data. So we use Excel sheet for organizing the data, formatting the data. We want to format it in the form of a table. Okay, so you can use it. You can perform different types of organizations. You can rearrange the data and so on and so forth. And you can then perform different operations. Okay, operation means a mathematical operation. Okay. So this is a mathematical operation, right? Division. This is a mathematical operation, multiplication. Okay. Anything which you see in your calculator, it's an operation, right? So Excel can do many operations for you. We'll have a look at many of them. So it is available for laptops, Windows, obviously. It is available on this is what? iPad. Okay. So it's available on Androids and the iPhone systems and so on and so forth. Okay, the main thing about Excel is the data is arranged in the form of cells. So in a table, okay, it's like a grid, it's like a graph. Okay, so each point in a graph has coordinates, right? X and Y value. In Excel, same thing. You need the X value and you need the Y value. Okay, so if you want to tell program to do something on this number, you have to tell him in which cell is the number. Yes. Okay. So like I said, we have to identify the cell with the row and the column. Okay. When you open Excel, open it. Okay, so when you open Excel, you will see something like this. Okay, so obviously if you are working on something new, you will start something new. You will start with the first option, which is a blank workbook. Okay, and then they have given some other options to us. These are basically tutorials, these are samples. Okay, so if you want to use, for example, you want a tutorial on how to use formulas in Excel, you can open this file and you can view other samples as well. So the first one is a blank sheet, the other ones are samples. Okay, I haven't used them, but you can have a look at it. These are what they think is important for you. I don't know from where it comes. I haven't seen this file in many days, but still it appears. I don't know. So these are suggestions. Okay, the program thinks these files are important for you. Okay, now if you are logged in to your Microsoft account, okay, then these suggestions could be from the online files as well. So these files which you see here, they are all online. Okay, I shared with them, I shared these files with someone, or someone shared it with me. Okay, so these are suggestions from the online files if you are logged in. Okay, at some time, I believe you have to log in, it doesn't work without that. Okay, and then you will see the recent files at the bottom, the files which I worked on recently, maybe yesterday, maybe today. So these ones will be shown here. Okay, favorites, I don't know, Excel is not my favorite, but whatever. Okay, no favorites, see, no favorites. Shared with me, again, if somebody, yeah, so these are also online files. Okay, if I am logged in to my right account. Okay, you see here home, this is the home. Okay, new, it will open a new sheet. Open, you want to open, so you don't want these files, but you want to open an existing file, so you go to open. Okay, and it will ask you where is your file, and you search for your file and you open it. Okay, account, Microsoft account. Okay, you can log in, you can change the account and so on and so forth. Options, they are options about which formulas, which options the Excel should show you. Some of them you can hide, some of them you can have them open. Okay, so this will all come from options. There are some toolboxes which you have to install after. So when you install Excel for the first time, all toolboxes are not installed because it will become very heavy. Okay, it happens with many softwares, especially softwares like Excel, which can do many things. Okay, so Excel can do many things. It's not a software which only does one thing. So if you download and install all the toolboxes in the first time, it will take a very long time. Okay, so what do? They put it in options. If you want a specific toolbox, use it. If you don't want it, they will not install it. Okay, so in options you will see the toolboxes which are not installed yet. Okay, you can change the viewing options and so on and so forth. Okay, so all these things can be changed. Okay, right now I'm just opening a blank sheet. Okay, so I opened a blank sheet. This is the thing which you get. This is the spreadsheet. Okay, the rows and columns. Okay, in one file you can have multiple sheets. Okay, they call them so the file is called as a workbook, and then in one workbook you can have different worksheets. By default you have only one. Okay, but if you want to add another one, you can click here and it will add another one. Okay, the numbers which you see on the side, they are the row numbers. The alphabets which you see at the top, they are the column alphabets. Okay, so can you tell me where is cell C4 So I'll go to C, okay, and this one C4, okay. Then yeah, we have the different view options here, okay. Normally we are working in this option, which is a spreadsheet option, okay, but you can also look for the print preview and so on and so forth. This one is what? The page layout. So it shows you, if you print out the sheet, how it will look like, okay, or how many rows and columns will go in one sheet, and you can put the heading as well, and you can put something at the bottom and so on and so forth, okay. And we have the okay. But normally this is the one which we are working with, okay, the spreadsheet option, okay. So if you see here, if I am at cell A1, you look at the top, it shows you the cell label, okay. This is cell A1, so you can see in which cell I am, okay, it is shown here, okay. You can name this cell according to what you want, okay. Okay, so I can change the name of the cell. I don't have to keep A1 and B1 and so on, okay. So if I, for example, I'm going to put my name in this cell, so I can name the cell as name, okay. So the name of this cell is name, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, even if you change the name, A1 will remain its coordinates, okay. So if I want to recall this cell, if I want to go to this cell, I can go to cell name, or I can go to cell A1. Both mean the same thing, right? Name is A1, okay. This is what we call as a formula bar, okay. This white portion is called as a formula bar, okay. Formula bar, whatever you type in the cell will show in the formula bar. Whatever you type in the formula bar will go in the cell, okay. No, it shows you what is inside the cell. A formula bar shows what is inside the cell, clear? Okay, so for example, if I write H here, so in the formula bar you can see H. If I write here H3 in the formula bar, now I'm writing in the formula bar, okay. Do you see it in the cell? Yes. Okay. So a formula bar shows you what is in the cell. Now here they are exactly same, right? H3, H3, no change, okay. But what is the name? What do we call this one? Formula bar. So the main purpose of the formula bar is to see the formula. The main purpose, obviously, if I'm writing H3 here, H3 here, do I need a formula bar? No. I look at the cell, the cell is showing me H3. H3 means H3. Got it? Okay. The formula bar becomes handy when you are using an equation, when you're using a formula. So the main function of having the formula bar is to look at the function, okay? Because then the formula bar will show you the formula. The cell will show you the value, okay? We'll come back to it, okay? But the cell and the formula bar are supposed to show the same thing, okay? But the main purpose of the formula bar is to show you the formula. The process, yes, okay? Then we have this thing which is called as the ribbon, okay? And then we have these: home, insert, page layout, formulas, data. These are called tabs. Okay, so this top one, let me go back here. Okay, so I mentioned formula bar. This one is called as a ribbon. Okay, so I told you about the cell name, I told you about the formula bar. This one is called the ribbon, where you see all the options. Okay, and the ribbon can be of different tabs. So right now the one which you see in front of you is for the home tab. You see it is in white. Okay, then we have other tabs as well. So ribbon for every tab is different. Okay, this one is for home. So if I go to Excel, this is for home. If I go here, insert, you see the ribbon changes, right? Okay, so the ribbon for every tab is different. So a tab gives you different options. It shows you different options. Okay. Yeah, okay, so if you go to home, you will see all these options. If you go to home tab, okay, so it will change and you will see all these options. Okay, the first three options you already looked at: open, new file, and so on and so forth. The other options are, you want to save the file, save it with different name or different format as well. Excel gives you the option to save the file in different format. Okay, so you may save the file in a text format. Okay, you can save the spreadsheet in text format as well. You can save the file as PDF. Okay, or you can save the file as image, and so on and so forth. Okay, so in save as, you can change the name, you can change the folder, and you can change the format of the file. Okay, and then we have save as PDF, as I mentioned. Then we have print, you can print it. Okay, again, if you go to print option, you will still have the option of PDF. Okay, you want to share the file through email. Okay, so you go there, share, and then it will ask you to give the email, and give the email, the file will be directly shared. Do you know the difference between this share and sending the file as attachment to the email? Do you know the difference between them? Is there a difference between sharing the file like this and sending it by email?
I think for image you can I add something? Sharing add something.
Yes.
Email
So
is-
yes, sharing is now you are sharing, right? Email is you send. Okay, so sharing, you can work together. Okay, and sending means send. Yeah, so he can work on this file, I will not see it. And if I have the same file in my system, whatever I do, then there are two copies then. Sending means there are two copies. One copy went to him, it's different. The other copy with me, different. Sharing means same file. Yeah. Okay. So he can work on one sheet, I can work on another sheet, same time, no problem. Okay. But usually there are problems with sharing as well. If you are working, for example, you both of you are working on the same file in the same cell. So you are putting 2 here, she is putting H there. Okay, so there could be some problems like this. Okay, but Microsoft has this option for all their files, Word and Excel and everything. Okay, you want to close a file and account and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the home tab. This is the home tab. And this is for the this is for the file tab. Okay, these are options in the file tab. This is the home. This is the home tab, the one which you already see in front of you on Excel. Okay, so this first part is called in each ribbon there are groups of options. In each ribbon there are groups of options. This group is called the clipboard group. Okay, clipboard is used for copying and pasting and so on. Okay, Now if you go in this options, and you can format different cells here as well using the clipboard options. Okay, so for example, if I do here 2 multiplied by 5, okay, 2 multiplied by 5 is 10, okay, and then I do 6 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 6, okay. Now I can, so I go there, I select both of them, okay, and then I have different options. I can cut them, okay. So if I cut them and paste it somewhere, what will happen? Same answer, okay. But if I copy them and paste them, what's the difference between cut and copy? Yes, cut will replace it, and copy it will make another copy, okay. So if I do cut and paste, it's gone from the first place, yeah. But if I do copy and then I paste, so you can see this is cut, this is copy, this is paste, okay. So it's now in both places. In Excel, you will also see different options for pasting, okay. So you can do cut or you can do copy, and then you have different options for pasting it, okay. Now you can see this value. Now you can see in the formula bar, the cell shows me what? The result. Formula bar shows me how did I get the result, okay. So this is why the formula bar is important. Now if you look at the paste option, you have different options here, okay. You can only paste the formula, okay. You can only paste the formula, okay. So whatever the number is, it will take the formula and it will copy it there, okay. You may only copy the value, okay. So I don't want the formula, I just want the value, okay. So I can go with this option as well, okay. Another one is, now you see these values are what? Vertical, right? Okay, I want to make them horizontal, okay. So I can go there in the paste option, and I see the option here for transpose, okay. So I can copy the values as transpose, so I can, sorry, paste the values as transpose. So if I go there and put it like this, so now you see the values are horizontal, okay. So I can have, for example, a table, for example, name here test 1, test 2, total. Okay, and I can do the total for so I'm now putting the formula, okay. So this plus this, okay. We will discuss all these things. I'm just showing you the copying and pasting options. Okay, so I can take this whole thing, okay, copy it. Now I want to paste it, okay. So if I just paste the values, okay, same thing, right? Where is the change? Here. Now if you look here, this is 1, right? If I make it 5, total changes. But if I make it 5, the total didn't change. Why? Because I did not paste the formula. I just pasted what? The value. Got my point? Okay. So this is the difference between pasting the formula and the value. Okay. And the other thing I was showing was the transpose, right? Okay. So I can copy all this. So now you can see the arrangement here. And now if I do the transpose, the names are on the top, the scores are in the rows. Clear? Okay. So there are different pasting options for you. There is also an option you can paste the whole thing as a picture. Okay, if you want to use it. Anyways, this is for font styles and so on. You know this, right? Okay, font size, font style, color, highlight, border. Okay, these things. Okay, so this is the font group. This is the alignment group. Okay. Now right now you can see the text is aligned towards that side. Okay, left hand side. Okay, you can align it in the middle, you can align it on the right hand side, and so on and so forth. So this is the alignment group. Another important thing which we normally use is the merge option. Okay, the merge option. So for example, this whole thing is for section 1. All these are for section 1. Now I want the same thing for section 2 as well. Okay, so what I will do, from here to here is section 1, right? So I will select all these cells. Okay, and you can select it from the cursor, shift and so on, or you can select it by using your touchpad. Okay, select all of them together. Okay, any problem till here? Okay, these things are very basic. Okay, I'm just going very slow. So you can select all of them and you can go there and do the merge. So all those 4, 5 cells will become 1. Okay, so this is the merge option. Another option which is good for printing, okay, and viewing is the wrap text option. Okay, now wrapping, for example, if I put my full name here, Munib, so you can see it is going out of the cell, right? It is going out of the cell. Okay, now I want to put it inside the cell. So there are 2 ways to do it. Okay, I can go there on the top and extend the whole column. So the column is bigger now. Okay, so the name fits inside the column. Okay, or I don't want to do it. Okay, I can do this wrap text. Where is it? Column is same size, but the text is bigger, so it will increase the what you call the height of the column. Okay, according to the text. Okay, so in the first option I was increasing it, fixed, all cells same width. But in wrap text, it will adjust according to the text. Okay, what's my point? Okay, so if I increase the text here, see, text increased, size increased as well. Got my point? In the first option, when you are doing it yourself, it will not change according to the text. If you make it 1 inch or 1 centimeter bigger, it will remain 1 centimeter bigger until you change it again. Okay, but in the wrap text option, you just put the text and it will change by itself. Got it? Okay, so these are some of the options which I find very helpful. Another very important group is the number group. Why it is important? It may create a lot of problems for you when you are trying to do something and you did not change the type of the cell. In the number column, you can change the type of the cell. Okay, now you can see here it is what now? General. Okay, So I can put anything there. I can put anything there. Okay. So I can put, for example, a number, any number. Okay. There, if you see here, there are different options: number, currency, accounting, short date, long date, time, percentage. Okay. Now, if you, for example, by mistake, you went there and you selected date. No, it will change it to date. It will change it to date. Now, does this look like a date? No. But when I change the format, it forced it into a date. Okay? It is not a date. So, and it will not give the error, as you were saying. If it gives the error, I know there's an error, I will change it. But the software doesn't give it an error. It will make it into a date, whatever the number is. Okay? You can see the number is 768768. Okay? Now if I change it to date, see on the top, 10/23/4000. We are in which year? 2000? Which year is this? 25. You see the year now? Okay. 2000 years after today. Okay. So this is why I said it could be a problem for you. You change the, and it continues. If I delete the number, the format will not change. If I delete the number, okay? And I put the format did not change. I put another number here. Okay. Okay. So deleting the number will not change the format. So for example, you are using this sheet and here you put a date. Next time you said, no, I don't want to put the date here, I will calculate something here. So you delete the number and you put you delete the date and you put a number there now. What the program will do? It will make it into a date. So earlier you were putting the date here. So date was, what is the date today? 17 June 2025. Now next time you open the file, you said no, the date I will put in that cell. Here I will calculate my formula. Okay, so you delete the date, it will not change the format. If you put the formula, it will convert your number into a date. Okay, and we face this problem many times. Sometimes it doesn't change at all. We have to delete the whole column. We have to do it in a new column as well. Okay, so whenever you are having these problems, you are putting a number, it is changing into a date, it is changing, sometimes it changes into a percentage. Okay, sometimes it will, you can see different options here. There are different options here, right? There's an option for percentage, option for fraction. Okay, so now you have the idea. Once you select any format from here, whatever you are putting inside the cell, it will convert it to this format. Okay, so I'm putting 2 here. It will change it to 2%. And when you use 2 in a formula, it will take 2% means what? Point how much? 2% means 0.02, right? So if I do something into 2 and if I do something into 0.02, will I get the same answer? No, you will not get the same answer, right? But you put the format as percentage, you put 2 here. Now you are thinking that it will multiply by 2. But because of the format, it will multiply by 0.02. Get my point? So you have to keep this in mind. Okay, so I will make it general, so you can see the number here again. So whenever we are having these problems, you have to check the format as well. So this one is very important. It will disturb your values, it will disturb your equations. Okay, and other options which are very useful here, you guys make these mistakes a lot of time. Now you see here 8, 8, 11, right? Okay, and in decimals here, this is a total, remember, this is the total, okay, total of those numbers. Do you see any significant figures, any points, any decimals? Do I need them? I don't need them, right? Okay, so I can increase or decrease the number of digits after decimal from here, okay, from these two options. This one will increase the numbers after digits after decimal. So you see here now, I'm clicking on this, 1, 2, 3, okay, and this one will decrease, okay, so this, okay. So many times students make this mistake. They put a formula in the Excel gives them a very long number with 20 decimal places, and they put the whole number into the report. Nobody wants to see this, okay. Significant figures are 1 or 2 significant figures, that's it, okay. So now you can do it manually. You have 10 numbers in Excel sheet. You can copy them one by one and then delete the number of decimal places yourself, do the rounding off yourself, or just go to this option and delete from there. So it will do the rounding off for you. Got my point? Okay. Another thing is, when again, if you are using currency, you can use the currency sign here as well. Okay. So right now, for example, in pounds, okay, in dollars, okay, or whatever. Okay. Another thing is percentage. So I want to put a percentage here. Now you see the number was how much? 8. When I convert it to percentage, 800%. Okay. So you have to be careful. Okay. Because 8 means 800%. If you want 8%, then the number should be 0.08. What's my point? Okay. If I put 0.08 here, then it will be 8%. Okay. So right now, okay, and the other thing is the use of the commas. If the numbers are very long, you can separate them with commas, so it becomes easier to read. Okay, for example, I have this number, right? How much is this number? The one on the top. How much is this?
C.
Yeah, C. How much?
6, 8, 7.
No, don't give me digits. Like how many thousands and hundreds? How much? 6,000? No. So you see, you are having problem, right? Okay. So if I go there and put a comma here, it becomes easier, right? Because of the comma. Okay. So now it 687,000 and 688. It becomes easier, right? With a comma. Okay. So the comma is to read the numbers easily, the big numbers. Obviously, I don't need the commas here with 3 and 4 and 5. Okay. So the number group is very important. It helps you. And okay. The other one is the styles group. Okay. So this is the table, right? This whole thing is a table. So does it look like a table? No. Okay. It just looks random. So I can go there and I can format it as a table. Some of the formats are already there. You can select one of these formats. For example, I can select this one. Okay, it will ask me Okay, the range of the cell I already selected the same, and it is asking me the table has headers on the top of the column. Okay, so I say okay. So now you can see it is converted to a table. Okay, yeah. So this is, you can do conditional, you can do different cell styles as well. So you can change the style of one cell instead of the whole table. You can change only one cell style. So this one, for example. So right now I have selected all the cells. Okay, if I select one cell, I can change the style of one cell as well. For example, let me make it this one. Okay, so and then you have conditional formatting. Conditional formatting will apply the rules according, apply the format according to a rule. It will apply the format according to a rule. Okay, so for example, highlight the cell which has more than value of more than 10. Okay, I want to do highlight of the cell. I want to see the student which has scored more than 10. Okay, so I go there. I am looking for greater than, right? More than 10. So highlight cell greater than. Conditional formatting, greater than. Okay. If it is greater than 10, what should it do with the format? So these are different formatting styles which it can apply. And how much is the value? 10. I'm looking for 10, right? Okay, right now it's a text. I should have selected these. Okay, so I select this one, conditional format, this one, 10. Come on. So you can see the one which had my rule, it is now highlighted. So you can do this with the entire sheet. These are 3 numbers, right? So it's easy. You can see, okay, one is 11, the other one, I don't need it. Okay, but I'm just showing you the example. You can apply it to a sheet of 1000 values. So 1000 values you will not see one by one. Okay, so but now even if the sheet has 1000 values, if there are only 2 values which are more than 10, I can easily see them. Got my point? Okay. Okay. Then we have the other options, the cell group. Okay, in the cell group you can insert a cell, you can delete a cell. Okay, you can apply these options to a cell, or you can apply these options to a whole column or row as well. Okay, so for example, I am on a cell, okay, and I say insert. It will only insert one cell. Okay, if I say delete, it will only delete one cell, one box. Okay, but if I go here and click on top of the column, if I do insert, it will insert the whole column. If I do delete, it will delete the whole column. Same thing with the row as well. If I select the whole row, insert and delete the whole row. Okay, and how to select the whole row or the column? You have to click here on the number. Okay, the number of the column or the row. Okay, then we have the editing options, very important. Okay, for example, I will just tell you the main ones which are very important for us. For example, these two are very important. Okay, these two are very important. This one is for filtering. Okay, this one is for filtering. Okay, let me show you from an example which I already have. We applied it, so it's easier to show it from there. Okay, these are some test results from so we took some data. Okay, we took some data from laboratory. Okay, we went to do some laboratory tests. We took the data from the lab, and these are the results we have. Okay, now I want to just see the results which are at temperature of 4.4. You see there are so many, right? There are so many. I just want to see which are at temperature 4.4. Okay, I don't want to see the other results. Okay, so what do? I go to this cell, I go here, and I do filter. Okay, or maybe this one. Okay, so I selected the row which is showing the headings. Okay, I selected the row which is showing the headings, and I went there and I did filter. So now you see here with every top row entry there is an arrow. Okay, if I go to the arrow, I go there, you can see these are the values in this column. Okay, which values I want to see? 4.4. So I will do what? Uncheck the others. Okay, clear? So now it will only showing me the values which are fulfilling my criteria. Okay, you can apply the filter by a rule as well. You don't have to do it with the value. You can do it with a rule as well. For example, I want to see values which are greater than or equal to 4.4. Okay, so I go there. Any value which was less than 4.4 is gone. Clear? So filter is very important for us when we are using the values, using the data. Filter helps us a lot. If you want to clear the filter, you click on the arrow and you clear the filter. Okay. Now another important option is in the same group. So we are using filter, right? Now you see data sorting as well. Okay, the first two options you see data sorting, A to Z or Z to A. The A to Z, Z to A doesn't mean that you cannot do numbers. You can do numbers. A to Z means what? The first number on the top, the last number at the bottom. First number means the lowest number. Lowest number at the top, highest number at the bottom. Okay, and Z to A means what? Highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. Okay, so for example, I select, now this may not work here because I have some, there are different types, but I can do it here, the other Excel sheet. Okay, so I select them, or I can select these values. I go there, okay, sort it from bottom to top. Okay, highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. Okay, now you see okay. You see these numbers are total, right? Shama. These numbers are total, right? So if I just sort them, what will happen? 11 will go on the top, but this 11 belongs to the student, right? And the student has a grade. The 11 is because of the grade, right? So if I am sorting the total, the student should also go on the top, right? Okay, so this is what it is asking me. Should I just do the sorting of this column, or should I sort all the rows with the column? Okay, so if you do expand selection, 11 will go on the top, and the student who has 11 will also go on the top. If you don't select this one, if you select the other one, only this column will be sorted. So 11 will go to the other student. Okay, so for example, you look here, who has 11? Student DE. Okay, so if I go with this option, expand the selection, DE will go at the top. Okay, do this, yeah, because there is a merge cell. So because of this, it's having a problem. Okay, what I will do is I will delete all of them because I don't need them. Okay, so I go there again, I do the sorting. Okay, expand. Okay, so DE at the top. Okay, now I can do the sorting the other way around, smallest to largest. Okay, so smallest will be on the top, right? But now I say only this one. Okay, so what happened? Maybe here. Maybe because of the formula. It's already in this way, okay. Yes, yes. Because there's a formula, okay. So the formula is creating the problem, okay. So for sorting, you should do it without the formula, okay. So if I do Z, and if I just copy and just make it into values, okay. So now they are only values, no formula, okay. So now if I do the sorting from largest to smallest, okay, so you can see there this has not changed, okay. So this is about the options you have, okay. Let us take like maybe a 5 minutes break, okay, and then when we come back I will give you something to practice on these options, okay. Main thing was the home tab. Up till now we were all looking at the home tab options. This is the most important one and the one which we used more commonly, okay. Then we have yeah, this is the insert. So after the home you see insert, okay. If you go to insert, you will see all these options. So in the insert tab you can insert a graph, you can insert a picture, you can insert a text box, you can insert online link, whatever you like, okay. So there are different options for insert here, okay. So the main idea of the insert tab is you can insert anything from Excel or you can insert anything from out of Excel, okay, but an object, okay. So insert will put something in your worksheet outside the box, outside the cell, okay. So if I insert a graph, the graph will not be inside a cell, the graph is in the worksheet somewhere. If I insert a picture, picture is not inside the cell, picture is in the worksheet, okay. So you can have a look here, all these insert options are available. The most important one are the graphs, these, okay. But obviously we cannot explore now without the data. So when we start playing with the data, you will see how we can use the graphs and all, everything. But the most important one is the graphs. In the insert, the most important one for us is the graphs, okay. So you put the data and you plot the data, X and Y, okay, clear? And they are different. So you see in the graph, there are different options, right? Okay, because the graph is not only a line, the graph can be different types of, okay. So we will have a look at them later on. Okay, the next one is This one was what? This one is, I believe, the design. Let me check. So we looked at this one, page layout, it's missing there. Okay, so this option, page layout. Okay, page layout means how you want the print. When you print the worksheet, how will it print? How much margin? Do you want the table like this or like this? Okay, the different orientations. Paper size. Do you want to put something in the background? Okay, so all these options are here. Okay, you want to scale it. Okay, and so on and so forth. So now you see in the worksheet you have grid lines, right? Rows and columns. Do you want to see the grid lines in the print or you don't want to see them? Okay, it's up to you. Just to share something, in the first office where I did my job after graduation, those guys, if I ask you to make a report, which software you will use for typing a report, making a report? Word, right? That guy there was using Excel for making the report. Because our report is what? You will show dimensions, right? Column dimensions, calculations. Where do you do the calculations? So he made his sheet into a report. Okay? And later on, I will show you, inshallah, software, Mathematica, which gives you the option to make presentation and report from the program itself. So the program is doing the calculation for you, and you can make the report from the program as well. Okay? I haven't done it, but there's an option. Okay? So this is the page layout option. Okay? It's not mentioned here. I should add it. But the options are for page layout. Okay? The next one, okay, this is the formula. These options are in the formula tab. Formula means the formulas you have in the Excel. Okay, last time I called them built-in functions. These are all built-in functions. Okay, now anything which you see in your calculator or in the calculator of your mobile, all the functions which you see there, they are already in Excel. Okay, and you can, after practice, you will start to use them directly. You don't need to go to this tab. But somebody, let's say, is using the Excel for the first or the second time, he doesn't know what formulas are there. But if I have to add a formula, what should I type? So he can go there, okay, and you can click on any of these options, the first row you see on your left hand side. On your left hand side, you can search for formulas. So I'm looking for a sine function, I'm looking for log, I'm looking for anti-log. Okay, so you can click on one of these tabs. For example, you can click on insert function and you can search which function you want. Okay, so these are built-in functions. These are built-in, they are already there in Excel. You don't have to do any programming for that. Okay, but later on we will see how we can do some sort of programming as well. So this tab is for people who don't know what formulas are already in Excel and they want to use it, or they are using Excel for the first time, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then we have the data. You have data there? Data? Okay. Because there are toolboxes for data as well. So this tab is not complete. Okay. If I look into my data tab, you will see more options. Data. Okay, so you will see some more options here. If you compare it with the slide, you will see more options here. Okay, so in the data, it gives you different options to analyze the data. Okay, in the data, it gives you different options to analyze the data using the functions it already has. Okay, so based on built-in functions, you can do some analysis for the data, and so you can sort the sorting we already seen, right? We already seen how to sort the data, lowest to highest and highest to lowest. Sorting the data, filtering the data, you already applied filter, right? Filtering the data, applying conditions to the data, okay? So these options are also there. Forecasting the data. So I give you 3 values and I ask you what will be the third value. Excel can do it for you directly. Even if you don't know how to do it, just put the numbers and you ask for the next number, it can give it to you, okay? So this is all there. Okay, then we have the review tab. In the review tab, so you are typing, if you type something, for example, you have typed the names, right? Okay, what are the names? Letters, right? A, B, B, C, okay. Are these words? No. If you put them in word, it will start showing you error, red and blue lines, right? Error. Excel doesn't do this because Excel is not for writing reports. But you wrote some text, now you want to see if it is correct or not. Okay, so you can do it from here. You can go to review and you can review your text. Okay, whether the numbers and the text is correct or not. Okay, you want to put any comments, you want to send the file, or you are sharing the file with someone. I am working on a file, or you are working on a file, you shared it with me. I want to give you some comment for your future work. So I can write the comments as well for you. Okay. By the way, comments are just for the sake of review. Okay, comments are just for the other person to have a look and do it. And then we have the view ribbon. The view is how you want to see the spreadsheet in front of you. Okay, so I already showed you there are some options at the bottom of the sheet, some quick options. These are all view options. The options which you see on your right hand side, bottom right hand side, these are all view options. Okay, different types of view, zooming in, zooming out, and so on and so forth. These are all view options. You want to see more options, so they are there. Okay, the view options are there. Okay, you are looking at the normal thing. Another important thing for us is page break preview. Okay, in page break preview, it will show you on the same spreadsheet where your page will end. For example, if I do this, okay, so now it is showing me on one page how many columns and how many rows will appear. Okay, now maybe my data is more than this. Okay, maybe my data has 100 lines. So I can see out of 100 lines how many are on page 1 and how many are page 2. Okay, how many columns on page 1, how many columns on page 2. Now you can see the columns, first 3 columns are empty, they have nothing, and my last column is at the edge of the paper, which is not good. Okay, so I can change it from here. That's why I said it is very important. Okay, okay, you want to see grid lines, you want to see formula bar, you want to see headings, whatever you want to see, you want to zoom in, zoom out, you want a new window. Yeah, another important part is, now you see if I go down, do I see the first row? No. Okay, so I can make this first row constant. I can go there. Okay, so you see now I'm at the bottom of the first row and I can do this freeze span. Okay, so now you see there's a line here. So even if I go down, the point where you froze the pane will always be visible. So when you have long tables, this is very helpful. Okay, I have 1000 rows, but I want to see the first row because the first row has the heading, right? Okay, so freezing pan will help you see. So I can unfreeze it, I can just freeze the top row, I can freeze the first column, whatever type of freezing you want. Okay, clear or not? Okay, I can unfreeze it and it's gone. Now if I scroll down, the first row is gone. Okay, so this is in the view panel. Okay, what else? General information, I already gave it to you. Yeah. Okay, so the last thing is the sheet, the worksheet. So if I go there, you look at the bottom there, the worksheet, right? This is sheet 1. If you want to rename the sheet, you double click on it. Now you can name it whatever you want. Okay, so I can name it name. Okay. If you want another sheet, you click on the plus sign. Sheet number 2. Again, you can rename it. Okay. If you right click on the sheet, you will see different options. You can insert another sheet. You can delete this sheet. You can rename the sheet. Okay. So if you don't want to double click, you can rename it. With the touch screen, you may not be able to double click. You want to move or copy the whole sheet, not the data, not one cell, one table, one row. You want to copy or move the whole sheet, so you can do it from here. Okay, so it will move or copy the whole sheet. So the sheet has 1 million rows and 2 million columns. Everything will be copied once. Okay. What else? Protect the sheet. You want to put a password on your sheet. Okay, you can do it. Okay. What else? You want to color the sheet with a different color. Okay, so right now you can see it is white. Okay, so I can recolor it with yellow. Okay, the sheet is yellow. The sheet name is yellow. Okay, whatever is happening with the sheet name. Okay, not with the sheet. You want to hide the sheet. Right now I don't want to see it because I have seen workbooks in which there are 20 sheets. I don't want to see 20 sheets. Okay, so I can hide it. Okay, select all sheet. Link, you can create a link to this sheet. So you can send the link to someone. Okay. Another thing, if you go on the site, so I'm not on the sheet name now, I'm on the site. And if you right click, it will show you the list of sheets. Okay. So I went there on the site and right click. Okay. So it will show you. I have 2 sheets, it is showing me 2 sheets. If I have 20 sheets, 200 sheets, it will show all of them here. Clear? Okay. And I believe you can do the options from here as well. Yes. Clear? Okay. Any questions? Okay. So I'll meet you then on Thursday, inshallah.